Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. And if you were in a place that you could witness the eclipse, I hope you got a good shot of it. I mean, it's something that it's a once in a lifetime experience. I posted a couple pictures on Twitter, so if you want to see them, you can check them out there. I didn't have a filter, so kind of had to wait until you were at total darkness before you could take a picture. But I tried to take it as the different phases, but I just couldn't do it. Plus, we had a lot of cloud cover too, so it was coming in and out. So we were fortunate that we got to see a lot of it, but it was breathtaking. So, I mean, so much so that we're talking about the next time this happens in 2024, it's not going to be as big, it's not going to cover as much of the earth or the states. And we're talking about, where we're going to go, planning now so that we can see it again. And that's just how crazy it was. But had a short day today. Because of that, I got together with my family and we had a little eclipse party here, so that was fun. So this morning didn't really see anything moving pre-market, which I didn't really expect, being that it was Monday and there weren't a lot of big names reporting earnings. So unless there was some solid catalyst, I didn't expect to take a pre-market trade. But looking at WUBA, you can see this was a gap up on earnings. Gapped up when it reported on Friday. This morning. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, or it did report after close on Friday, but it gapped up. It did report, and we kind of held it, and we had this move up. So I was sitting here looking at this, pre-market, because I usually cut my platform on at 7:30, and I'm looking at what's on the scanner, and I'm looking to see, is this going to provide an opportunity here? Well, we were already a little oversold. I mean, overbought up here. So I wasn't really interested in it. And, we tried to push up, but we couldn't. And I was looking at the SPY. Let me get it up here. So I was looking at the SPY at the same time, and it was starting to sell off. And, eventually it went red, and it stayed red. So to me, the long bias that I had on WBA was kind of going away. Now I'm short biased. And you can see at the open, first 5-minute candle, look at everything's trending down. The SPY is trending down. This is trending down. So I felt pretty good about taking this, to the short side. And because we had this long wick, I wasn't going to, use the low of this opening range. I used the close of this candle. And then once we opened, we pushed up a little bit, touched VWAP, and started to sell off again. That's when I got short. And this thing started to work. So I'm looking for a move down through 58.50. I was going to probably take some off through 58.50. And I was looking for it to get down through, on 56.50. I was looking to see if we get down through 56 here and maybe bounce off this level before we start to recover. And sure enough, look at this. This candle followed the SPY. You know, here's the SPY. Second 5-minute candle is this. It turned around and ran up. And I kind of knew I was in trouble when I saw that. Even though this candle I wasn't looking at the SPY when I got in, but when this thing started struggling, I looked at the SPY and I knew I was in trouble. And, you know, I ended up stopping out because I wasn't going to wait until we got a close above this, because, you know, I really would have dug a hole for myself. So, you know, I was smart enough just to go ahead and stop out, not let it hit my stop or anything like that. And, you know, it tried to pull back, but it held a VWAP, and, you know, it took off from there. You know, thankfully I didn't try to get back in this and get short again. You know, I knew at that point it was just time to let it go, because you know, it was just chopping around. And then you can see, you know, you can look at the trend right here. You know, I was looking at this, wrong line. You know, I was watching this the whole time. And I knew as long as we kept making higher lows, I'm not getting in this. Even though we kept closing below the VWAP here, I wasn't getting back in this. We were trending up. It ended up trending up all day, and we were done. But I found there were two stocks at the same time, you know, setting up for a reversal. There's CTRP and JD. See, they both hit the scan pretty much the same time, right here at 950. CTRP and JD. You know, all through 950 to 957 was the last time I think this hit. Yeah. So I was watching both of them. And JD, I felt, gave me the best opportunity, because you can see how far away from VWAP we were. And I looked on the daily chart. I found the closest potential resistance level, a daily resistance. This was a pivot from the daily chart. And it ran up and tapped it. And I was about to get in this. And then this candle opened and it went straight up. And then it came right back down. So once it did this, I felt comfortable, you know, getting in. I didn't think we were going to go back up, because we had a little tap up here and it failed. We opened, we tried to push, and it immediately sold back off. So that was my signal to get in. And I was getting in, risking on this level here. If we closed back above this level, I was taking it off. But we didn't. We got to move down to VWAP. I took 2/3 off here, because, you know, a lot of times when the market is trading the way it was trading today, we're not going to get the follow through. So just to make sure, I took 2/3 off. So you can see here, I got short at 41.26, 300 shares, and right here at 40.95. These two, you know, hit at the same time. So I took 2/3 off here and left 100 on to get to the either the 20 or the 200. Now, if we got here, and like I was saying in chat, if we got here and we bounced, meaning I got a green candle here to hold the 20, I was going to take it off and get back in and reset for another short, a continuation down, or the rejection of the VWAP here. But it didn't hold. It sold off pretty good. And once this thing gets caught in the gravity of the 200, it usually sucks it into it pretty quick. And it sucked it in. It hit my order here that I had sitting here at the 200, and you can see it dipped a good 15-20 cents below that. So I put the order out here. I guess if I hadn't had it as a hard bid sitting out, I probably would have caught most of this. But what happens too much to me in the past is that I sit here and try to wait for this, and I end up letting it go back against me, and I don't take the profit. So you have to stick to your plan. And my plan was the 200, and that's what I stuck to. So felt pretty good about this trade. I couldn't nail it, any better than that. I couldn't manage it any better than that. This red line, this was a 5-minute opening range low. And I assumed that we were going to pull back and bounce off of that, once we got through here. And that's kind of what we did. So I waited, tried to wait for a retest. And once we ran up and tested this, and, we closed above the 200. But then this candle, it ran up, tested the 20. And the 9, see the 9 was coming in. I went ahead and got in because this was selling off. And I'm like, it tried twice and it failed. So I'm getting in here, risking on the 9 and the 20 right here. If we reclaim this, then I was out. And we got a solid move down. I put out an order at a bid at 40.25, and I bottom ticked it. This thing came down and hit 40.25. I put one of those hard bids out because of what happened here, I felt could happen. Eventually this stock was going to, run out of steam, and it was going to turn around and push back up. And sure enough, we tried here. We made a higher low. We made a higher low here. But I was trading with the house's money at this point. I was well up on this trade. I already had a big successful trade here. I had some profit locked up here. So why not give it a chance to retest this? And if it retested and failed, I could add back and take this thing down to the red to green, which was a green to red line, which was right here. And I thought we were going to get that. I thought we were going to get it. This was trending down. We made a lower low here. Kind of hung right there. And then we got a pop. We started making higher lows again. And then this candle just went up and stopped me out on a profit stop here. I set this back at break even, at my entry. And that's where we got stopped out. Not really a profit stop, but stopped at break even on this last piece. But in this case, this was a classic case where I should have taken 2/3 because we might not get the follow through. The confidence that this trade gave me had me just go ahead and take half here, when I could have taken 2/3 and I would have locked up, some decent profit, but a little bit more. But those are the decisions that we make, and we kind of have to stick to them. So, and that was my day. I was done about 11:30, and it was about time for us to go get the pizza and get ready for the eclipse. But we'll be looking tomorrow. Tomorrow morning should be a little bit better. I think today was a little soft because of the eclipse and because of how much of the country it was actually impacting. So I think today was a little slow because of that. But tomorrow I think we'll be kind of back on track. So I'll be looking tomorrow, see if we can get a decent pre-market move. We'll see what happens. But everybody have a great night, and we will see you in chat tomorrow.